All right, welcome, Feisties. We have the whole squad here today for our last episode before Thanksgiving. That's what I want to start with is we will be off for Thanksgiving next week. What are you guys doing, Katie, Joanne, for the holidays?
Holidays?
Well,
What holidays?
Do you get Thanksgiving in Ireland?
No, we got Black Friday. People go crazy shopping for like the whole month of November. We don't get Thanksgiving over here. We get Christmas Day.
Do you do Boxing Day?
St. Stephen's Day. So the British call it Boxing Day, but the Irish call it St. Stephen's Day. So yes, we do, yeah. But no, we'll just enviously look at everybody else eating turkey on Thanksgiving, and we'll just continue to shop.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
It's funny. I used to go with my dad to Black Friday and like line up at Best Buy, like outside at like 4 a.m, waiting to go in and get like laminators and things like that for free. And like it's changed so much since then. Now it's just like Black Friday is like already like it's going.
Oh yeah, the Feisty Friday sale has already started. You can get 40% off all the Feisty courses already. We're calling it Feisty Friday instead of Black Friday.
I like that. I like that. It could be Purple Friday instead of Black Friday,
exactly.
but yeah. So no, it's just a normal day for us.
It's just a normal day. So yeah, but we're going to take off because otherwise, given when we record and when it comes out, our editor would have to be editing on Thanksgiving. So we'll be off next week. We'll be back for 3 more shows, and then we're going to be taking a Feisty podcast break for Christmas and New Year's. So everyone will have to do without us for 2 whole weeks.
But really,
they can just rerun their favorite podcasts.
And it puts it into perspective when you say it like that. It's like, 3 weeks till Christmas. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I hate to tell you girls, but I only have 6 days of work left for the rest of this year.
Oh, wow.
6 days. Look at the smile.
That's going to be so nice. You're going to be rested soon.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Can't wait.
Before we get into like the news and stuff, Joanne, since we're talking about holidays, you keep texting me and Katie about some Christmas fitness challenge. What is this?
Yeah, I clicked it and I didn't like get to it. So I need this.
Yeah. So Kelly, you're over exaggerating before we even start. It's not even manifesting. I sent you one text message following our conversation last week where Katie was asking for some virtual support in terms of going running. So she wanted some accountability. Like, this is a former elite athlete, an Olympian, is talking to me about needing some motivation. I am happy to help, not just an Olympian, a medalist, a double medalist, Kelly. I got to help my friends out, So basically every year for the last number of years, I've hosted like a fitness challenge, and it's kind of evolved over time from 12 days of Christmas to maybe doing a 5K a day for the month of December to now we just have the fun festive challenge. So it is hashtag, I love my hashtags, hashtag fit the number 4 Christmas. So fit for Christmas. And so in this whole challenge, you basically sign up to get some festive themed daily activities sent to you that you complete, and you can either already be an active person and you're just spicing up your routine with some of our party planks or our Rudolph runs or our Christmas pudding ab crunches, or you can be somebody who sits on the couch and just wants to chill, watch Netflix and be in front of a fire and drink Bailey's coffee, which sometimes I would err on that side as opposed to the Rudolph running side. So it's available to everybody. Everybody. And so what it is ideally you want people to move for 20 to 30 minutes every day for the whole month. It's not a lot in the summer. It's not a lot in the springtime, but festive season when it's absolutely chock-a-block, bananas busy, and there's so many things to do and there's so many places to be and people to see that you kind of forget about looking after yourself. And whether you're a triathlete who's on an off season or you're somebody who just needs to get moving, this is just a little invitation to nudge you along the way to Christmas, and then turn around on Christmas Day and be like, hey, I'm going out for a 30-minute walk and I'm going to feel right about myself for the whole day. But we do it right through to the 31st of December. It's a bit of fun. There's some prizes to be won, and it is free.
Okay.
So you can just sign up on www.trytalkingsport.com. And girls, I'll send you the link directly. So that'll just be the second text I will send you, Kelly, about it. But what's more important really is that Katie got out for some physical activity this week. Katie,
I know.
what did you do?
Well, you're really speaking to me with that direction of hashtag fit for Christmas. I'm like, this is for me. This is for me.
This is for me.
I ran twice in a row, took a day break, and then Kimball went out on a bike ride and I ran with him while he rode for 15 minutes. And my whole thing right now is if I just get out for anything, that's a success. That's where I'm at right now. So I also, my bigger thing that I got to do is I recruited my athletes. So I'm coaching the Oxo Collective here. And after swimming now, they're doing planks in pajamas or like 10 minutes of core. I'm bringing it back, but without
pajamas.
Without pajamas and without videoing it. But they're kind of like coming back from off season, so it's optional for them at this point. And they're like, why are we doing that? I was like, no, this is for me. If you would like to join me, you are welcome, but this is for me.
So wait until you see the sessions that we set for the day, every day, for 7 days a week for the 31.
I feel like I should now say, and if you want something more serious, Feisty is also putting on we have a winter cycling program that's actually starting December 1st. It's cycling focused. It'll have strength workouts too. It has 2 or 3. Basically, you pick like how many hours a week you want to do, and then it gets sent to your Training Peaks. Or if you don't have Training Peaks, you get it in your email. And it has 2 or 3 strength workouts a week, and then kind of again how much you want to do, like 3 or 4 bike workouts. So we're also we have a group, a club on Zwift. So some of them will be like together if you want to meet up and do them together on Zwift. And some of them is to give people like, that you want to work on, your cycling. I'm putting like over the off season, but then you don't really know how or where to get started. So it's a coach program. We have Coach Serena Bishop Gordon is leading it. So like, and she knows what she's doing. Very good. But it's not like if you're not ready for like full coaching, you know what I mean? Like you don't want like, and there's a little group for people to talk. So anyway, if you want something that's more than Rudolph reindeer runs,
don't knock them. They're really good. Some days I encourage people to just get their Christmas shopping done and go for a coffee.
Well,
I mean, that's important.
There you go. Or you can join the Feisty Winter Cycling Challenge.
And next year, I'll have something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't we so lucky that there's like total opposite ends of the spectrum available, and there's nothing to stop people signing up to both, doing their two cycling sessions a week, and then popping a couple of party time planks.
Exactly.
For joy.
Exactly.
I mean, we are triathletes.
Yeah, we've got to be able to diversify and transition easily between cycling and squatting.
It is crazy, like you said, though, Katie, that Christmas, I mean, it is more than 3 weeks, but obviously that's how I'm like, well, we only have 3 shows between Thanksgiving and we're taking a break. And then as soon as we get back, I'm actually flying to Endurance Exchange, the USAT's Endurance Exchange in Orlando. So I booked those flights like this week. I'm like, it's basically almost January. Who knew?
Yeah.
So
here we are. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Happy Easter.
So,
so tell us about Endurance.
I was going to say, I know you guys were both thinking about coming. Endurance, it is very USA focused, Jen. Like the UK does do like a similar conference in December. Anyway, it's very USA focused and obviously very coaching focused. You can kind of, when you go, you can kind of pick a coaching track or a race director track, or like be there as like an industry person. You can pick what sessions you do, but we are, as Feisty, going to be doing a pre-conference, like 3-hour session on coaching female athletes, the physiology and psychology of, obviously, I don't want to say like all female athletes ever, but the common things that come up, learning about like hormones and just a lot of mental and self-confidence issues. A lot of like, obviously we'll have a focus on kind of menopause, perimenopause, because Celine is coming to do that part, who's kind of our expert on that. You can sign up for it when you go. And when you sign up for Endurance Exchange, you literally can just like add the Feisty pre-conference to your checkout. Or if you're not, or if for some reason you like aren't going to come to the whole Endurance Exchange, but you're going to be in Orlando, you can just come to our thing. That's fine too. We're cool. If for the, I don't think there's that many people to do that, but me, I will be there. Celine, our menopause expert, Sarah Gross will come. And then our psychology, mental health expert, Dr. Erin Ayala is coming. And so we'll be doing a whole little session.
Segment.
Yeah. We might do a
gonna be
live
so
podcast
good.
too. It's going to be really good, actually. The women's, and you get 4 CEUs if you want to, if you are like a coach who needs ongoing.
I was going to ask you, are you going to push out that session as a podcast, either here or on the other platform?
Yeah, so we may do a like a live. We say live, but like recorded live,
But the live recording,
aired
it's recorded
later.
live.
Yeah. While we're there, that is still a little bit TBD. It all depends on if Katie decides to join us. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
Right.
No,
It's no pressure,
Yeah.
Katie.
it's in the brain. Yes. Yeah. Not an actionable item yet, but
It will be fun. I mean, obviously Endurance Exchange has changed over the years for people who like remember when it was kind of like the triathlon business industry conference, and it like combined with Ironman, and then that sort of died off during the pandemic, and then USAT took it over. I don't know if anybody remember the year it was at the ASU football stadium, and you were like walking laps around the football.
Was that 2020?
it
Because
was
I came
right
home,
before
I
the
was at
pandemic.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. It was in Arizona. I went to that. I think had we the Outspoken Summit in 2019, and I went to that
Mhm.
in November, and then I flew back out to Arizona in the January, I think, to it, and it was brilliant. But we came home from it, and literally it was lockdown.
Exactly.
weeks
Yeah.
later.
Because
Yeah,
it was like 3 weeks later. It was wild. But
yeah, it was really good.
so it's changed obviously a lot in different ways. I always like to hear the kind of like state of the sport. They do a big like survey presentation data on like just like where the sport's at, which I always think is good to know going into the new
Cool.
year, you know. That's all my announcements. Do you have any other announcements for people?
I don't know. Have you signed up to anything recently?
Oh, I
Are you
signed up
signing
for a race. You signed up for your challenge. I signed up for a race. There you go. I signed up for a race in March, guys. Like a big trail race by my house. Yeah.
And for technically, Christmas is 3 weeks away. January is only
Right.
4 weeks away. So March is like pretty much just now or now.
I told you guys my run right before this, I don't want to say lost, but it got longer than I intended and did not make me feel great about trying to do
March
like double
is a
that.
long way. March is a long way.
I was like walking to stumbling back to my car, and I was like, oh man, this is
I keep reminding our athletes, this is not the time to be fit. You want to be fit in March, not right now.
yeah.
There
Or
we go.
maybe
Listen
right
to
now
the
too.
coach.
But
Well, we have a 10K on St. Stephen's Day, about an hour away from where I live. And then we have a 5K on New Year's Day, about 5 minutes from where I live. So I'm spoiled for choice. I just need to get moving and keep my running up between now and the end of December, which is technically next week.
Right, basically. Obviously.
I have to sign up for something now.
Yeah.
because
You didn't know.
I was supposed to do a race a couple weekends ago, but Kimball got the flu, so we didn't end up going. So, all right, I'm going to find
You
something.
know what you should do, Katie?
I'm ready for
run. Swim run.
it.
I bet
Swimming.
you would be good at that. I bet.
Do you want to know my motivation to swim right now? If I
Yes.
get my lifeguard certification, then it opens up a lot more pool space for us. And you need to swim 500 during the lifeguard certification. And so I've dabbled in swimming in the recent weeks. Oh my goodness. It used to feel easy. And now I'm like, wow, swimming is hard.
I
So,
feel confident that you can complete a 500.
I
Are you trying to swim, Katie, at your Olympic distance swim, or just like a normal person swim?
a normal person swim. I feel like I feel like I just always thought swimming was it always felt easy, and so it's been very humbling getting back into the pool after I haven't. This is probably the least I've ever swam. Is what I didn't really swim at all while I was pregnant with Josie, so
Right.
it's been a while.
I haven't swum in like a month and a half now because of the crashing my mountain bike, and I couldn't pull my shoulder up. So yeah, we're always like mountain biking.
Oh.
Great, try it.
Yeah.
Can't move my shoulder.
No.
That'll come back, right?
Yeah. And I'm like showing you on the video. I'm like, see, I can almost look to deer now.
That would
I
not be
feel
great
like
for
we
the
need to
recovery.
sign up to some PT, maybe, Kelly. Some nice,
Yeah.
gentle exercises between now and the end of Christmas.
Oh yeah, like some
Think for
reindeer
Christmas.
flames.
We should do
Put
it
in
all,
place.
all on a well, I guess we're not on podcast, but one of the December podcasts we should just do one
All
of the
the
fit challenges
planks.
or all of them. We could do all.
I I'm sure that would be lovely to listen to for people while we all do a plank. Yeah.
I did a whole
Maybe
series on it, and I thought people liked it. Planks and pajamas.
I think there's a difference between audio, Katie, and Instagram video.
No, because you can't see anything when you're doing planks yourself. Like, you're not looking at the video. Although
fine.
it was amazing how many people would message me being like, I just watched it. I was like, you didn't do it? You just watched this do planks and pajamas?
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like the listeners are going to be going, what has happened to these girls
I think
this
we've
week?
lost
We're
the listeners.
very
We've
Okay, bring it back. Okay, bring
all
it
right,
back.
bring it back.
Okay, bring it back.
We
Do we need a commercial break?
yeah. All right. So we're pulling it all the way back.
Okay.
All right. There is still a season happening. There was a lot of news actually this past week. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of races. I guess we'll start with the top. Ironman announced actual changes to their qualification for 2026, which I think everyone is kudos to them for listening to people, making some changes. Personally, I'm sort of over all the change. I'm sort of this just seems unnecessary. But I know a lot of people are well, at least it's a step in the right direction.
And they did it retroactively too, I was seeing, right?
did,
So
yes.
the races that have happened, they're allocating more spots.
And to be
So they've been
super clear,
Okay.
they're not taking spots away. I a couple weeks ago noticed that there's only about 1950 spots at qualification races, which is to be there's going to be 2,500 athletes and there's less than 2,000 spots to earn. So I asked Ironman what the deal is there, and they were like, oh, well, foundation, local athletes, sponsors. So they have wiggle room. They're just going to add these spots. They're not taking any away. I know some people were worried about that. So
Yeah, I think the key thing really that we saw was that Ironman were monitoring the situation and they had data to work from the 2026 qualification period. And so they were monitoring it. They weren't sitting on their hands and saying, oh, we're done now. This is what it is. We're just going to go with it. That they actually did monitor it. And they do have an athlete advisory panel as well. So they are engaging with the athletes to look for advice on what the athletes as a representative group would like to see. And then obviously Ironman are feeding into that as well. And so I definitely think it's a positive step in the right direction for the slots, and giving the slots retrospectively is a huge step as well. Because they could have just said, oh, we're done with those races, but actually going backwards and recognizing that some athletes missed out, I think is a huge step as well. So I think they do deserve a lot of kudos for what they've done to try and find a solution that works whilst continuing to work on the best possible outcome for everybody going forward. And I think it's not find a solution and we're done. It's continual review.
I don't think I did ask if they were going to make any more changes because I have to write something that won't come out till January and for a magazine. And I don't think there are going to be any more changes between now and then. I'm pretty sure this was the change. But yeah, I didn't think they were going to make changes at all until next year, or until the next cycle, just because I thought, like you said, it's way too complicated to go back retroactively. So yeah, they moved quickly. I will say this from my point of view, I do think we're making this way too complicated, guys. We have a race to determine a podium. Just take the podium, send them all to race each other at a world championship, and let's stop making. My brain is starting to hurt from all of this.
I'm sure everyone's brain is starting to hurt with it.
I was texting, because obviously I'm on a lot of triathlon texts, and somebody was like, yeah, we might all be a little too in the weeds on this. And I was like, yeah, it's possible.
It happens.
Possible.
And I think, to be fair, you guys with advocacy as well have probably received a lot of emails and a lot of I'm going to say constructive criticism, maybe.
I'm going to say unconstructive.
Or constructive,
just unhappiness.
Maybe anger towards Ironman vented at you guys, and so you have been at the receiving end of a lot of the information that's come in.
I thought, Joanne, you were talking about all the men who email me to tell me about women, because that happens too. And I really could do without that. I almost want to put out a PSA, guys, you don't need to email me to explain that there are less women who do triathlon to me. I am aware, so.
Okay.
Well.
Well, I'm not sure how we respond to that other than moving forward.
You're like, men
Things
don't
are
email
looking
Kelly.
positive.
Yeah, that's what we're. But that went into effect immediately at Ironman Arizona this past weekend, which was obvious. Like, and no, I mean, Arizona's an interesting race because in some ways it's a really big race in the U.S. and this was the last edition of it. But I think internationally, it's not that. Like, people are like, what are you talking about, right? This year it was a big race because a lot of people like announced. There was like a bunch of retirements announcements. Yeah. It's like,
I wonder, did they pick Arizona because it was one of the last Ironmans of the season, but then also it was its last edition?
right. I think like for Meredith Kessler, for example, it was her first pro race ever. And so now it was her last pro. And like Dede, I think Dede Griesbauer wanted to do like the last edition. Like you said before we got on, Mike Riley came out just to call the two of them across because they've been around for, a really long time, which was cool.
And Luis Alvarez as well, who did his 250
Saw that.
Ironman
I saw
Arizona.
that.
He's part of the club, the exclusive club. Yeah. So Mike,
215 is a lot of Ironmans. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had Jill Walker a few weeks ago did her 100th. And that was the milestone she got to. So fair play to them and kudos. But yeah, Mike took out left the retirement at home and got his microphone out and headed to Arizona to call Meredith, Luis, and Dede across the finish line. Yeah.
You know how we joke that every week there's a correction? Last week, I think I said like, oh, Meredith's done like 100 Ironmans. Apparently, it's actually 76. She did like 40 something Ironmans as a pro, and then like another 30 something. That's a lot as a pro. I'm just like, I know we just talked about like 200 and 100 Ironmans, but for professional racing, like 42 Ironmans is.
Trying to think of that in the average of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Because she raced pro for like what, 15, 16 years, something like that. So yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And then the other athlete who I was surprised at actually was Jodie Stimpson. Retired. She wanted to do an Ironman, so she retired on a high and got her Ironman done in Arizona. But she's been in the sport for, I think I saw a figure of like 28 years or something. She can't be older like than 30 something.
Well, I was listening to a podcast with Flora on it, and she was saying that she's done 5 Olympics, and I was like, 20 years of like, whenever people have
5,
and like whenever you think of the span of cycles, you're like, wow, that's like a long time.
Yeah, no. So Jodie, yeah, you're right. She's like 36 and she's been competing for 28 years. So she did an Ironman and then went out on a high. The other one, Simone Daly, won Ironman Arizona, and that was her last race. So she got to like go out on a win, which is, I don't think that doesn't happen often, right? Like usually you're kind of like, oh, I guess I'm done.
And the last time she won an Ironman, was Ironman Wales in 2019. I think she won Ironman Wales. That was her first pro Ironman win. And so to go out on a high with the win as well in Arizona is pretty cool.
But
completely
now
different terrains and weather.
No, her Kona spot rolled down. So I think, God, who was it? Alice Alberts or Rachel's got the. Anyway, it rolled. There were 3 spots and it rolled down to 4. So obviously that person was happy.
But she was a CrossFit athlete, I think, or definitely into strength and conditioning before she came to Ironman. So I do recall. I think I wasn't dreaming. It was a video she did, maybe on the finish line with someone where she talked about actually moving into high rocks and also coaching as well. So so it was great to see her across the finish line and take the win. And she did really well because I think she was 10 or 15 minutes down at one point. So she ran through the field, which was great.
Yeah, Arizona, I mean, I've been to that race a number of times. It's not a course I like or I would do, but it is like many, many loops. So you do see them a lot of times on the run and a lot of spectators. At first I was like, am I going insane? It feels like there's just, then today I saw Chris Lieferman announce his retirement. Matt McElroy also had it, like literally as I was coming back from my run, Matt McElroy. And then last week, obviously we got to give a shout out to Haley Chura, announced that like Kona was her last big race, and she is retiring. And I mean, she's had, when I was putting together highlights for people, she has one of the only athletes who's ever raced the Olympic swim trials and the Olympic marathon trials. That's actually why.
And she finished in the top 20 in Kona on multiple occasions.
6
I think.
times, yeah.
Yeah, she's one of the only athletes who's raced and completed the World Championship every time she started it.
She DNF once, but yes, but 6 is a lot of times. A lot of times. So, and then Summer Rappaport.
Hey, work on the podcast.
I don't know. I messaged, well, before Kona, she said she was super busy. And then I saw that she got some kind of Hall of Fame at University of Georgia because they had to do a ceremony. And then she ran the New York Marathon. And then I was like, man, yeah, you are busy. Like,
you're like, all right,
fair. And Summer Rappaport is retiring, right?
Yeah, Summers was so sneaky at first because she did just like a post. It was not even a post. It was a story on her Instagram that said like something retired and what am I doing now? But it was like it was a story. So very passable. So I texted her. I was like, are you retired? And then there was a post about it like a little bit later. So, but
wait, Katie, did you do a big announcement?
Yeah, but like I didn't know I was retiring until like a very short notice because I basically just realized that I wasn't like I was getting on a start line and I was like, oh, I'm not hungry. Like I don't have a goal. And as soon as I don't have a goal and this isn't what I want to do anymore. So.
Do you think, because I also, again, it feels like retirement season. I don't know if you guys follow like Winter Olympics. Jessie Diggins, the cross country skier, big deal. Yeah, so she announced that she will be retiring at the end of this season. And I was like, one, it just seems like everyone's announcing this week. But then two, which is better? Like, hey, by the way, I'm done now. Or I will be done after this Kona. You know, because there were a few people I knew they were going to be done after Kona. Like,
yeah.
Right. But so which is better, the pre or the post announcement?
Well, I think like, so I think of like Vicky Holland. I think she announced prior to like her last race that it would be her last race. And then she crushed her last race and had like a really good performance. I feel like that's like an easier way to maybe get that last piece out of yourself if you like know this is your last one versus, I don't know, for myself, I was like, and I'm done. So I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to do it. I just think some people have maybe like a little bit more like they're like, I can get through this last bit and this is when I'm done. And other people are like trying to see how far they can get before they're like, okay, that's enough.
I think especially, and obviously this isn't what happened to you, but like during the pandemic, I think a lot of people were also like, oh, this is going to, and then they were trying to like wait out one more year because there were no, and then it was like, so a lot of people had it sort of like, oh, I guess I done now. And it never kind of like, they never got a final race.
Well, and I think like this happened to me was that Paris was so much closer. So it was like, oh, we don't have to wait a whole quad to go. Like it's one less year. And so you're like, well, I might as well go one more.
Oh, well.
Wow. Just like that.
So, but it's the retirement's so interesting because people just, I mean, it's whether like you're not making money or your body's not holding up or you're not like having fun anymore. There's just something you want to do that's different or so.
And do you miss the structure of being a full-time athlete?
Oh, yes, I do. I do miss it, but I don't miss like the amount of things I think for myself, when I started looking at just like everybody who else's life of just like having kids, like going to work, having like being in one place, having a closet, like that all looked a lot like
having a closet was on your list up there with having kids
and a mailbox. Yes. Like a place to get mail and all on the same level too.
Makes sense.
But it's like you start looking at like different things and being like, oh, okay, maybe my heart's not in this anymore. But I also like was super happy with my career and achieved everything I wanted to. There was nothing left on my list of like, I want to do this.
Right.
So,
except she's going to come back and do an Ironman.
Yeah. Half Ironman.
Half Ironman.
I'm manifesting. You see where she goes?
You forgot a word. Oh, it's okay. Well,
Feisties, you're probably already thinking about your 2026 goals. Maybe it's pinning on a race number, hanging strong on that one group ride that's really always a race, or finally tackling an epic cycling adventure. Whatever your goal, it starts this winter. Our Feisty Winter Training for Cyclists is a 16-week group coaching program for women who want to train smart, ride strong, and thrive together. Led by coach Sharina Bishop-Gordon, the program kicks off December 1st and runs through March 31st. You'll get structured rides, weekly strength sessions, and expert-led education that explains the why behind your training. You'll learn how your body adapts, how to fuel it well, and how to make training fit your life, not the other way around. You'll also be part of a supportive community that gets it, where you can ask questions, share wins, and laugh through the tough workouts together. So this winter, let's lay the right foundation, build your strength, confidence, and community, and have a lot of fun doing it. To join winter training for cyclists, go to feisty.co and look for the yellow banner at the top of the page. To save $50, use the code TRI50, TRI50, all one word, TRI50, to save $50 at feisty.co.
Hate indoor training? We have great news. We have partnered with Wahoo to offer you a special deal on the Wahoo Kicker Run, a treadmill that will convert even the most diehard treadmill haters. Wahoo, the same company that revolutionized indoor cycling training, has literally broken the treadmill mold with this machine. With its special run-free mode, you can just hop on it and run. It naturally adjusts the pace as you do, just like you would outdoors. Speed up, slow down, it moves with you as you do. It can also simulate the terrain by subtly tilting the angle from side to side, so again you feel like you're really running, not locked into an unnatural pace or place. Or you can lock it in or even program workouts, so it does put you through your training paces, including both inclines and declines. And it's stunningly quiet, even when you're humming along full tilt. Even if you love training outdoors, the Kicker Run is a game changer for year-round training. No more trying to navigate ice-covered roads, awful weather, or worrying about going out in the dark. We love it, and we think you will too, so check it out. Click the link in the show notes and use the code FEISTY, all caps, one word, FEISTY, to get a free Headwind Smart Fan valued at $300 with the purchase of a Wahoo Kicker Run. That's code FEISTY to get a free fan when you purchase a Wahoo Kicker Run. We will drop a link in the show notes to make it a snap. And right now, Wahoo is running a massive sale of 25% off the Wahoo Kicker Run. So click that link and get yours today.
Do you think, I think we're going to have some of these athletes on in the coming weeks, but do you think pro triathletes are equipped with like what to do after well enough? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh shit, what do I do now?
Yeah, I don't think that they're equipped as well as they could be. I think you have like certain people who do a bit better with it. And it feels to me like 50-50. But I would say that could definitely be improved as just like kind of guidance. I know like the USOPC, like they have a lot of resources for post-career, but you have to like there's still like a lot of self-regulation and being able to really do that yourself. Like you have to reach out, like you need to be the one to start all these things. And
Is there no formal program like there would be in, for example, a rugby player here would have an exit plan, where they would be supported from a not necessarily a financial perspective, but they'd be given tools to go help themselves make money, and then also from an emotional and mental support, because you go from being on the world stage at a sport at a high level to then suddenly sitting at home. What are you doing? It can be quite hard. I know I've spoken to a lot of team sport players who would have transitioned from full-time sport into just regular life, and it's really, really difficult.
I think USA Triathlon, World Triathlon athletes have much more support in the transition phase than non-draft, because you're like you're kind of in the program, but you, like I was saying, you just have to like reach out and like know what your resources are. USA Triathlon also had like T4, like or
oh
no,
yeah,
T3.
they did
T3.
T3.
Sorry, added in an extra transition in there.
T3. Yeah, they had that program. Yeah, T3 that was to like transition out of.
Yeah.
But no.
But Katie, sorry, I was going to just say, so say like now you're gone into coaching. Was this something that was on your mind when you were racing as an athlete, or did this just come about? Like I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, for example. So when you were racing, how do you know what you want to be when you leave the sport full time? And you were lucky you got to do it on your terms. But if you had to go out with an injury and a forced retirement, it would have been very different.
Yeah, like I did not know my plan until like probably getting closer, and really even like the position I'm in now, it was a little bit serendipitous in that the opportunity came up at the same time that I was getting ready to leave. And I didn't think I was going to go into coaching as an athlete. I never really wanted to, but I did go to school for physical education. So I think there's a bit of like teaching in me, and I'm just passionate about growing triathlon, and like my experience was so good that like now I'd like to like share that and pass that on with other athletes, and hopefully my impact will hit more than just the group I'm like reaching right now. I don't think I'll stay a coach forever. I think I'll move into something different in a few years, just because the
Podcast hosting, for example.
podcast hosting, the opportunities are endless. But I think like to your point, when you have like, there's a couple of things when you have an injury as a like athlete is you like, I'm going to get through it. I'm going to like, that can really just keep your career going, just to see if there's like, you get to the other side. And I think during that time, you basically can't be planning what you want to do. Or I think it's very hard to be thinking about what you want to do after when you're doing this now, because, and maybe some athletes deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, probably, I think for like age group athletes, or maybe you can't be thinking about what you're going to eat after the race while you're in the race, right? Like, a friend of mine used to tell me this, like, you can't be planning your podium outfit before you've won, like, because then you're not in it. Like,
right.
No, of course you can't. You don't have like a Mars bar and a bottle of Fanta in your white bag on the finish line. Seriously, the last 2 kilometers of a sprint triathlon, all I'm thinking about is what's in my bag when I finish the race. I'm joking, obviously. But it is a small tip that we give people, though, when they're doing an Ironman, is to have something in your white bag that you're really looking forward to. Either it's a particular piece of clothing that you just know you want to be putting on, but mostly it's about like the food you're going to have after. And for some people, it's not Coca-Cola because you've had some of that already. It's like a bottle of some other type of pop and a favorite chocolate bar.
You know how devastating it is though when they can't find your bag though then? I like basically had like a meltdown. I was like, find my bag, please.
I'm going to give that girl a hug.
I think we're going to have a few of those athletes on just to kind of talk now that they're done. But yeah, it's interesting. I do feel like we're in retirement season. Maybe we're having a changing of the guard. Maybe it's just because it's the winter. I don't know. I don't know if it's more than usual or if it just feels more than usual.
It feels more than usual, but we are 5 years. I'm not going to say post-COVID, but it's another 5 years since 2020, which was a big year because of COVID that people stepped away from the sport and stuff. So we have a lot more athletes coming through now, I think, than we ever had. And like didn't mention, didn't Braden Curry retire as well recently? And Bart Aerono did his very last Ironman World Championship race in Marbella. So his last World Championship full distance was Nice, and then Marbella was his last. So he's retiring as well, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. It's hard to keep track. Some people also, they just go on and do something that has nothing to do with triathlon. They go and become a doctor. Or what was the one guy? He went and became like an Alaska bush pilot. You know who I'm talking about? The Ironman champion. Yeah.
Haven't a clue.
Okay, well, this is from like the 90s. Someone out there will know who I'm talking about.
Okay, so send it to the mailbag.
Yeah, you could always just go and do something completely different too.
Hey Feisties, Sarah Gross here. We are so excited to be back with you here on our new, shiny, Feisty Triathlon podcast. Thank you for listening. I am so glad you're here. I want to tell you about one of the Feisty team's favorite recovery products, Prevenex's Neurify Plus. I use the chocolate flavor myself every day to support my strength training. At Feisty, we only support brands that our team uses and products that deliver results we have seen for ourselves. Prevenex's Neurify Plus is one of the best tasting plant-based and vegan shakes I've tried, and trust me, I've tried a lot. It contains balanced protein, carbs, and fat with comprehensive, high-quality micronutrients to help fuel your health. It also contains probiotics and digestive enzymes, so it's super easy to digest and doesn't give you that bloaty, gassy kind of effect that other protein products can produce. Unlike most supplement brands, Previnex tests everything with pharmaceutical-grade precision, and they also offer a 100% money-back guarantee. So try Neurify Plus or any Previnex product today, and you get 15% off your first order with the code FEISTYTRY at Previnex.com. That's FEISTYTRY for 15% off at Previnex.com. The link will be, as always, in the show notes. Regular listeners of Feisty podcasts will not be surprised to learn that for decades, running shoes have been researched, tested, and designed for men. Brands have relied on the shrink it and pink it approach to sell male shoes to female customers. But women's feet differ from men's in numerous ways. We have increased toe splay, higher arches, a more narrow heel, a lower ankle bone, upward angled toenails, and a rounded instep that is smaller in circumference. And because of all those differences, that is why we need HEDAs. HEDAs has unlocked the science behind women's biomechanics through dedicated research and creates running shoes specifically designed for women. So that means a lower heel collar to reduce rubbing on women's ankle bones, plate design to provide heel stability and to decelerate foot impact, rounded instep creating a snug fit through the middle to match the curvature of a woman's foot. Every feature is designed to give you more power and less problems. Breathability that lets your feet breathe easily mile after mile, plus fast-drying tech that doesn't allow sweat to slow you down, adaptive stretch that molds to your foot like it was made just for you. I personally have been running in HEDAs for over 2 years, and from the first time I tried them, I knew that there was something different. They really felt like they were made for me. The shoes are super light but provide good cushioning, and they really support my very high arches. I honestly didn't think I would notice the difference after running for so many years in male model shoes, but I really did. So try HEDAs for yourself today. Go to hedas.com and use the code STAYFEISTY for 20% off. That is Stay Feisty for 20% off at hedas.com. The link will, as always, be in the show notes.
All right. We do still have a few more races left. I think mostly people are done. Mostly people are like eyeing the 3 weeks to Christmas. Qatar is coming up. They are starting to what we mentioned them last week, the tri-poll, where they track like who's actually racing and who isn't. And he has started to track for Qatar. Imogen.
What do you call it?
Well,
Qatar.
Yeah. Okay. We had this debate last. So Qatar is at like how they say it in Arabic, but yeah, we all say Qatar in like English. So I think it's not a debate anyway. I also say Roth, Joanne, and that's not how the Germans say it. It's not how the Germans say it.
I didn't know what you were saying. I was like, she's talking about Qatar? What?
Qatar.
What's
Qatar.
Or Qatar.
Qatar, yeah.
Qatar. Anyway, not correcting you, but I didn't know what you were talking about. Sorry.
Qatar is coming in like 3 weeks. Imogen Simmons is racing. So she is going to make she's back, which obviously is like good for her. Like she was on that contract all year, but hasn't gotten to race. So, And then I think they've started to try, like Flora is not going to be racing, of course, because she was hurt all year. I'm trying to think who else isn't racing. They've started to track. So you can keep track. You can like keep your eye on it.
So far, it's not so many that aren't racing.
Yeah.
And I was like, are there any other big? That's like the only big race left. There's been a couple. Like I was like, this was on my list to text Katie. Why are there still World Cups happening? I don't understand what's going on.
But then I said, no, we're done. They just finished last weekend. But
there was like 2 last weekend and like 2 the weekend before that. Because I get the press releases that are like, so and so won the first Spanish women's title in 20. And I'm like, why is this happening? What is happening?
Yeah, we're all done World Cups now. But it made me look for next year because there are 8 after the grand final for next year. And I don't have like a real good explanation, but I do think it's a good thing because it gives like the opportunity for athletes to keep racing after and start getting like, especially now because it's Olympic points qualification will start next year.
Does this count? So like when I think, does this count for your points for next year? If you race a World Cup and win it right now?
Yeah. All these points. So this is a really good time to collect points for athletes.
For next year, next
mhm.
season. Interesting.
Yeah, and to get on the like start lists, and especially because this year, a lot of the start lists, especially for the men, but even for the women, like there's a lot of athletes getting their names on the start list. So the points definitely matter. So, and the World Cups are good money too for those athletes who are doing
Oh, are they?
like well. I mean, relative in
I know it's all relative.
in terms, but yeah.
Oh yeah, because I forgot the one other thing that we didn't talk about, guys. What the hell happened in Dubai?
Oh,
I should have because this here's what reminded me, Katie. Because okay, so the Dubai men's race was a mess. We can discuss. My husband's idea was that everyone should just get the winner's prize money. And at first I was like, that's crazy. And then I realized it's triathlon, and that's only $25,000. And he was like, Dubai has $400,000. They could just give everyone the winner's prize money, and then everyone would be happy, and it would have solved all the problems. I was like, it's not a bad idea.
Well, it mightn't have solved the problems in going for the World Series title.
It would have made some people happy. I mean, because like I think people's degree of pissed offness was relative to how much money they had just lost, and like
well, points too, right?
Yeah, and points. Yeah.
I mean, it was a real interesting men's happenings. Yeah, it was, because and like it is. I have a little PTSD from getting disqualified at a World Cup for like I didn't do the right course. Like I ran through transition. You were supposed to go on the side of it. And like as an athlete, it is your responsibility to know the course. But like there was like you run through transition every single lap, and there was nothing blocking that. And so like there's a little bit of me that it's like you're annoyed at the organizers for it not being clear when you're in the midst of like a really hard race. But then ultimately it comes back to you. But it's just like it's hard because I don't think it's really like that simple. Like when you look at like maps and things, you're seeing courses often for the first time. So I'm sure it'll be better next year.
If they have it again next year.
It was better for the women's race.
It was,
the women's race happened,
the women's race was like 2 hours later, and they fixed it. I think what like blew everyone's mind is both that obviously the front group did an extra lap on the bike, and then also that everyone did a lap. Everyone except for 4 people did a lap short on the run, and then so that's like how did those both get messed up? And obviously at some point, like you're saying, like of course it's the athlete's responsibility, but at some point you also, when officials are telling you do this, you don't stop and argue at them in the middle, right? You're like, okay. So
and then I think as well, like can you count your laps in the pool when you're running? Can you count your laps when you're running out of track, like in training? I absolutely can't. I can't imagine how much pressure Hayden Wild was under at the front of that race to not turn right into transition. Plus, he's led every single race this season in the T100, so he knows what to expect. So, like, I don't know. It's really difficult. I was more, and we'll probably talk about this, but I was like, how do they figure out how they ranked the athletes from that race with the 3 guys going off
they
the extra lap?
Let the boys vote,
which is actually
but only for the run.
Yeah,
I don't think they let them vote.
They didn't let them vote
or have an opinion on the bike.
I think for the bike, they were just like, well, that's on you. You did an extra lap, like too bad. And then everybody, so then like Martin and Hayden and Matisse got like they just were further back. They just got penalized like 10 minutes basically because they did an extra lap. And then because so many people did a lap short on the run, they basically left it up to the athletes. Do you want to DQ everybody except for 4 people, or do you want to just count it where it was at the end of lap 7, which is what they ended up deciding to do, which is like reasonable, but it's also like, I don't know. It's sort of like why treat, and the thing that bothers me besides the fact that when that many people screw up that many things, it's like clearly something's wrong with the organization. It's not just on the athletes, right? If like one person did something wrong, you're like, okay, that's probably on you. But the other part of it is that, and I think Martin pointed this out, nobody stopped them at any point on that extra bike lap and was like, hey, you missed it, like turn around. Yeah.
Which I saw.
You're probably not. Sorry, Katie. You're probably not allowed to come back along the course.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know, but like,
but they clearly no one had even said anything to them because you saw how Hayden got into T2 and was like, "Why are you all running? Like, what is happening?"
Yeah, I agree.
But Sam Dickinson, sorry, Katie, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I agree with what you said. Like when it's like multiple athletes at the highest level, all of these athletes have raced.
Yeah,
a lot of times there's definitely something that wasn't clear.
Like, Which is why they all should have just gotten the 25K, and then everybody would be happier.
And the points.
I tell
I
you,
don't know.
I wouldn't have liked to have been working the T100 on Saturday for that race.
Oh,
Like
man.
the pressure they would have been under to try and find a solution. Like, and it's people's livelihoods at the end of the day. I know it's a race and we get entertainment out of it, but these guys are putting their own livelihoods on the line to race a race, and they're taking financial risks probably to get there. And then if they're putting their bodies on the line, and then it's like, oh God, it's so hard. It was kind of unfathomable, but
It was wild.
difficult situation for sure for everybody.
And they obviously cleaned it up for the women's race. And Julie John won, and Kate Woff was second.
stormed to victory.
Yeah, and so she's clearly back from like her injury earlier. And Kate Woff was second, and Jess Learmonth was third. And I'm always hesitant to judge spectator crowds from video because like you can't tell, but it did seem like they were finishing to like 10 people, and I was like, oh. And like even Jess across the line like looked around. Like I don't know if you saw, like she crossed the line and she like looked around like, okay, well, that was good.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the type of race that will garner a big crowd. I mean, it's in Dubai in the
I don't know.
the desert, I presume.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think what's actually more interesting is that Jess raced in Marbella at the 70.3. So did Georgia Taylor Brown. She finished in 4th. And Lizzie Rayner finished in 8th, and she was in the top 10 as well in Marbella. So like some of these girls have just done back-to-back incredible races.
They must have just
remember
like gone straight there, right? Like I would assume.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I know that Georgia and Jess were missing from awards at 70.3 Marbella, so I think they must have flown out straight away. And Lizzie was actually gone as well. She wasn't there.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, hopefully
Insane.
they all have 3 more weeks to Qatar, however we're saying it, and then they're done. Then it's Christmas, so hopefully they all get off seasons, and they can join Joanne's fitness challenge.
I think they'll be joining the watch the television and chill out challenge.
It's also good.
Which there's nothing wrong with either, Kelly.
No,
That's allowed.
I watch a lot of
allowed.
TV. much TV.
I love the way your eyes just go like,
a lot of TV. Well, I then went down this hole in my head about Law and Order SVU, where I was like, we don't need to go down that hole right now. We can do that. So-
Can we? I used to
We
watch
can have
it.
another podcast.
So wait, no. Before Netflix, back in the day, I used to watch it so long that I would literally see a repeat of it in the same sitting.
This is what happened. Then I'm like, oh, I don't like this episode. I've seen it too recently.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is
That's
what
crazy.
the other half of being a professional athlete. Know every Law and Order SVU episode. So
I think it was CSI over here, wasn't it? It was CSI. Or we did. I think we got Law and Order at some point. It was Matlock. We were all obsessed with as kids growing up. I don't know, do you remember Matlock?
no, Joanne,
Some
you
of
might
us
be.
some of us grew up with only 2 channels on our television for many years.
Oh, you might be aging yourself here.
I'm totally on 21 plus math.
Yes. All right. Well, we are off next week. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving / Black Friday. And then we'll be back with 3 more episodes before the Christmas break. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube Music. Leave us a review and share with your friends.